Okay, hello learners. Welcome in today's discussion, today being on 25th of May 2025. Today we have a question on our board that is grouped data, and we want to calculate median. We want to calculate mean, arithmetic mean for grouped data, and we want to calculate part A of that question. We have to calculate mean, arithmetic mean, and median. Arithmetic mean and median. Good. Arithmetic mean and median. That is where we want to send our discussion today. And I believe we are all going to understand this. As I said, this channel of ours is to help us to simplify any units in regards to mathematics and accounting. Good. If you want the full video for this, please just search in our channel for just search Mr. M.Patrick, and I believe you are going to have the full video even on how to group this data in case you have been given ungrouped, maybe you have been given ungrouped data. This is just the data that I've grouped. I had a raw data of ungrouped data, and now I've grouped it the way it is. For the learners, you realize you will get a question. The question will just come. You have been given a class and frequency. F stands for frequency, and this is a class that we are going to group our data in. So if you meet this question, you have been just given a class and the frequency, and they ask you to calculate maybe mean, median, mode, standard deviation, coefficient of skewness, coefficient of variation. Name them. But for today, today's video, we want to center our discussion on mean and median. Good. Now, if you get such a question, the first thing you have to do is to fill the table. And we fill the table. The table we are going to fill, it's called frequency distribution table. Now, if you have been given this, what the next column we have to fill here is what is called cumulative frequency. CF, cumulative frequency. Good. And before we fill the cumulative frequency, I always advise we get the total of the F, the summation. When I say the total, I mean total summation. We have to get the summation of F. When I say the total summation of F, I want us to get the totals of the column F, or the column of the frequency. So you add 1 plus 2, you add to 7, then you add 12, 9, 6. You have to get what? You have to get your figure as, we'll get here 40. You get here 40. Good. So we'll go ahead now to do what? To get the cumulative frequency. How do you get cumulative frequency? The first figure here of F, this one you can see 1 here, you will put it here. So it will be 1, you add it to 2, it will be this way. 1, you add it to 2, it will be what? The answer is 3. Then 3, you add it to 7, the answer you get here is what? 10. 10, you add it to 12, it will be 22. 22, you add it to 9, it will be what? 31. 31, you add it to 6, it will be 37. 37, you add it to 3, it will be what? 40. Good. I think we have now seen how we get the cumulative frequency column. Now, the goodness of getting the cumulative frequency column, yeah, it's going to help us in calculating even median and all that. But I always advise, if you see the last figure in the cumulative frequency column, this one here, that the last figure is not equivalent to the summation of F. Just know that the cumulative frequency column is what? Is not correct. So you make sure the last figure you'll get here as 40 must match with the figure for the summation of the column F. Good. Now, what is the next column now? The next column we have to fill is called X. And what is X? You remember in our discussion, I said x is the midpoint. X is the midpoint. X is the midpoint. The midpoint of what? The midpoint of the class. The midpoint of the class, with the midpoint of the class that you have been given. So for us to get maybe x here, you'll be adding 70 plus 72. Like for this case, you have to add 70 plus 72. Then you divide by what? You divide by 2. 70 plus 72, you divide by 2, you'll get your x, the first x, the midpoint, the first x. And for that case, the first x we have is 71. If you add this, divide by 2, you'll get what? You'll get 71. You'll get 71. So you come and put it here, 71. That is the midpoint of the class. So 73 plus 75, you divide by 2, you'll get 74. You divide by 2, you'll get 74. Then we go 76 plus 78, you divide by 2, you will get what? 77. You'll get 77. Then 79 plus 81 divided by 2, you will get what? You'll get 80. You'll get 80 because this, you'll get 80. You'll get 80 because this plus this, you'll get what? You're going to get 160. 160, you divide by 2, you'll get what? 80. You get 80. Then 82 plus 84, divide by 2, you'll get what? 83. 83. Then the second last, we'll get 86. 86. And what? The last one, we'll get 89. 89. Good. So this is the midpoint of the class. This is the midpoint of the class. We just add 70 plus 72 divided by 2, you get 70. 71. 73 divided by 73 plus 75 divided by 2, you get 74. So that is how we get the midpoint. That is how we get the midpoint of the class. This is the midpoint of the class. Midpoint of the class. Good. I think we are all understanding this. So it's just up to us to master how to come up with the frequency distribution table. So let's proceed. What is the next column now? The next column is what we call fx. fx. And fx, for this case, when I say fx, I mean the product. Fx, we are getting the product. The product. The product, it means what? You are going to multiply f, you multiply by x. That is frequency, you multiply by the midpoint. And the frequency we have 1, you multiply by 71. That is what we mean. So it will be here, this one, it translates to like the first one, it will be 1, you multiply by x. So it will be 1, you multiply by 71. So you'll get what? 71. Just simple that way. Just simple. The next one, it will be 2, you multiply by 74. 2, you multiply by 74, you'll get what? 148. 148. Good. The next one, you have to multiply 7, you multiply by 77. 7, you multiply by 77, you'll get what? 539. 539. 539. Then we go ahead and multiply 12, multiply by 80. 12 multiplied by 80, you'll get what? 960. 960. Then we go ahead, 9 multiplied by 83. 9 multiplied by 83, we get 747. 747. 747. Then we go ahead and multiply the other one. You'll get what? 516. 516. Well, you have to multiply 6, multiply by 86. Then the last one, 3 multiplied by 89. 3 multiplied by 89, we'll have to get what? 3 multiplied by 89, we'll have to get 267. 267. 267. Good. So up to there, I think we now know how to get the CF, we know how to get the midpoint, we know how to get the product of f and x. So what is the last part on that table? We do what? We have to get the summation of fx. We have to get the summation of fx. The summation of fx. The summation of fx. When I say the summation of fx, you're just adding the figures in the column of fx. So if you add the figures in the column of fx, what you get? We get what? we get 32, 48. 32, 48. Good. Think up to there we are doing well. Now, what has meant for us is just now to get now the calculations of mean and median. Now that if you have come up with a frequency distribution table this way, now you just do what? You get the calculation of the two. Now, let's start with the first one. Let's start with the first one, the arithmetic mean. Solution. The arithmetic mean now. Part A, let's calculate the arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is what? How do you get arithmetic mean? You get arithmetic mean is equals to total summation of fx, you divide by total summation of f. Total summation of f. Good. So the answer will be, we already have the figures. Total summation of fx is 32, 48. You divide by total summation of f, we have is what? 40. So our mean will be what? Our mean is what? If you divide that, you'll get your mean to be 81.2. 81.2. And you're good to go. That is becomes your answer. That becomes the answer for mean. Now, let's go to the next part B. Part B now. Part B, you have to calculate now what? Median. You have to calculate median. And we all know median is to divide our data into two parts. To divide our data into two equal parts, or you can call it Q2. I also refer to it Q2. Now, we did it for the ungrouped data, and you could see I used the two methods. The one that you can arrange your data in ascending order, and then you use the binary. You use the chopping method, or you can use the other method that is 1 over 2 into bracket n plus 1. Nth, you get the value, the nth item. Then you go to your data that you have arranged in ascending order, and then you get your median. Good. That is for the ungrouped data. Now for the grouped data here, we have a formula that we are going to use, and it's a very easy formula that I know we are all going to understand. The formula for the median is always L1 plus in bracket n divided by 2 minus c, yeah, I, then you divide by fm. Good. Fm. Good. Don't worry. I'm going to explain to you what those terms means. Good. I'm going to explain to you what those terms means. Good. Now, L1 for this case, so just pay attention. L1 for this case, L1, it means the lower class interval. The lower class interval of the median class. Yeah, lower class interval of the median class. How do you get L1? Because we have L1 and L2. Let me use the first class, like, let's say we have identified our class to be what? Our class to be 73 to 74. Yeah? How do we get, maybe you have identified our class to be, our class to be 79 to 81. Yeah? So let's say our class we have identified to be 79 to 81. Yeah? Yeah? Good. Now, our L1 in this class, you will use the smallest value, which is, the smallest value is 0.5. 0.5 you subtract from the smallest value, which is 0.5. This value, you will subtract it from this 79. If you subtract from 79, you will have what we call 78.5. Then the same smallest value, you add it to 81, you will have 81.5. Now, this becomes now your L1, and this will become your L2. Not that one. That is how we get L1 and L2. L1 and L2. Just that way. Very simple. You add, you subtract the smallest value after you have identified the class. I will show you how we identify the class. You add, you subtract from 79 0.5, then you add the same 0.5 to 81. Yeah, so the one that you have subtracted from this one becomes your L1. This one will become your L1. Then this one will become your L2. So 81.5 is L2, and 78.5 will become our L1. I will show you where we are using L2. Good. So I think you have seen now we identify the L1. But for the median class, so you'll know how to get the median class also. So we go to the next one, N. N, for this case, N is just the same as the total summation of F. The total summation of F. And you already have the total summation of F is 40. So that one is easy. Then C is the cumulative frequency before the median class. Cumulative frequency before the median class. Before the median class. Before the median class. So in case we say, let's say this is our class. Yeah. We have identified this as our class. So the cumulative frequency before, this is just the English now, the language. Yeah? Before. So before means it will be the class of 73 to 75 because we have our median class to be this. So before it will be 2. Now the cumulative frequency before the median class will be what? 3 now because our median class, let's say this one. So the cumulative frequency before the median class it will be 3. After is what? 22. So that is just English. That is just a matter of language, no? Now the last one we have the FM. FM, this is the frequency of the median class. Frequency of the median class. Frequency of the median class. So in case we say this is our class, 79 to 81 is our class. Now 12 becomes our FM, the frequency of the median class. Good. Then I now becomes the class interval. I refers to class interval. Other books you will find it's they are referring to it as C. Yeah, but in case you see I also, it means the same. Now how do we get I? The class interval. Now if you have done the L1 and L2, to get the class interval you just L2 you subtract L1. L2 you subtract L1. Yeah? L2 you subtract L1. L2 you subtract L1. So the class interval, if L2 you subtract L1, let's say we had the class interval. Now L2 we had here 78.5 to 81.5. So our 81 will be 81.5. You subtract from 78.5. If you subtract that, you'll get your I to be 3. You'll get your I to be 3. Good. Now, there's a mistake students normally do here, that they will assume this, the smallest value, this smallest value I've mentioned here, the smallest value. They assume this value and they pick 79 to 81, let's say the class like that. Then when they want to find the class interval, they will just subtract 81 to 79. 81 from 79 from 81. They will end up getting 2. Which I totally now disagree because you'll not get the marks for the median because you won't use the right class interval. So make sure you just use this smallest value, subtract it from the lower class interval which is 79, yeah, then add it to the upper class interval which is L2, you are good to go. Now we have everything and I think I've explained that formula well. Now it's just a matter of now identifying how do we get, let me ask, how do we get median class? How do we get the median class or the Q2, the median class? Very easy. You can use the two formulas. We have the n plus 1 divided by 2 n, yeah, or you can just say n divided by 2 n. This is the formula for you to learn you to the median class. N we all know is the total frequency. N we all know is the total frequency, which is the 40 plus 1 divided by 2, or you can just say 40 divided by 2. Yeah. So here we will have what? Here we will have what? You will have 21.5. You will have 21.5. Here we'll have 21.5. Then here we'll have 20. Yeah, 20. Good. 20.5. Yeah, 41 divided by 2. That is 41. Good. Yes. So we'll proceed now with the calculation. Proceed with the calculation. So it's 20. Here is 20. Here is 20, sorry. 41, that is 41 divided by 2, so it is 20.5. And here we have 20. Now, after you have done this, you have to ask yourself now, when you go to the cumulative frequency with these figures, cumulative frequency column, where can you accommodate them immediate? Underline the word immediate. Yeah, so let's go into the cumulative frequency column here. We know very well this 20.5, you can accommodate it even in 40, in 37, in 31, and also in 22. But we want immediate, where I just step in this column, but accommodate the immediate. For me, I will say I will accommodate it in 22, this column here, 22. Because we have used the word immediate. So underline the word immediate in the immediate. Yeah, that is the key part. Because we want where we can, when I just come, let's say, when I just come in the class, the person I can just pick immediate. Yeah, that is what I mean. So where I can just land this 20.5 immediate. It can be accommodated in 22, in 22 part. So with the moment you have identified that, this becomes your class. I think you have now understand how we get this class, the median class. The moment you identify that, this becomes our median class. This becomes our median class. This becomes our Q2. We can call it Q2 or median class. Good. You just come with this figure. Even you can come with the 20 in this. Where can you accommodate 20 immediate? We accommodate it in 20. Now that becomes our median class. Good. So we are good to go. We are good to go. Now, after we have identified now our class, we can see our class is 79 to 81. This is our median class. This is our median class. Good. Now our L1 will be what? Now we just get the values and we feed into this. Our L1 in this case will be what? So you subtract from 79 0.5 is what? I will have 78.5 plus, then N we already have, it's 40 divided by 2, close the bracket. C we said is the cumulative frequency before the median class. Cumulative frequency before the median class, which is what? 10. So I will say minus 10. Close the bracket. FM is the frequency of the median class. Frequency of the median class is 12. You see, very easy. Then we go ahead. I we say it is we get the L2 minus L1. So it is 81.5 minus 78.5, which is what? 3. Then we are good to go. So after we have done that, this will be 20 minus this divided by this, 20. 20 minus 10 become 10. 10 multiplied by 3 becomes 30. 30 divided by 12. So it will be 78.5 plus 30 divided by 12. 30 divided by 12 will be 12.5. It will be 2.5, I mean 2.5. Good. So when I add the two, when you add the two, it becomes that you have your median, or your median as 81. Or you can say my Q2 is 81. Good. So that is how, very simple and very clear to us now today, that we are able to calculate the arithmetic mean, and also we are able to calculate the median for the ungrouped data, step by step. The first step, come up with the frequency distribution table. The next step, calculate the arithmetic mean. The third step, just come up with the median formula, know how those values in that formula means, then know how to identify the median class. After you have identified your median class, go to the median class, pick the values, feed into the formula, and you'll have the answer. Good. I really appreciate for your time today. Next, I'll come and teach you how to calculate mode. How to calculate mode for the grouped data. I know very well we did mode for the ungrouped data, but I'll come also to take you just slowly by slowly in how to calculate the median class. Good. So I wish you all the best. If you benefited from the video, share to others. Subscribe. That is what I always say. Just subscribe to the channel so that when I upload the video, in case you missed our discussion, you will be able to know we have discussed this, and you'll be able also to go through at your own time, and all of us will be on the same page. So for today, bye bye. May God bless you.